I did it. The words came out steady.com, almost rehearsed. Detectives stared across the metal table as Daniel Reed folded his hands and confessed to murdering his wife. No lawyer, no hesitation. He described the night in detail, the argument, the shove, the fall down the basement stairs. He even knew where her body was buried. Case closed, they thought, but something in his eyes didn't match the story. It wasn't guilt, it wasn't fear, it was relief. And that was the first thing that felt wrong. Megan Reed had been missing for 9 days when her husband walked into the station. She was a nurse. Quiet, careful, the kind of woman who texted when she arrived anywhere. Friends said the marriage had been tense, but not violent. No police reports, no neighbors heard screaming, just silence. Then Daniel's confession. He said they argued about money. Said she slipped. Panic took over. He buried her in the woods behind his father's old cabin. Detectives searched the property. They found disturbed soil exactly where he said, and beneath it, Megan's body. Everything matched. Almost when the autopsy report came back, the timeline started to fracture. Megan hadn't died 9 days ago. She'd died 3. That meant she was alive nearly a week after Daniel claimed to have killed her. Investigators assumed shock had scrambled his memory. Trauma does that. But then came the second crack. Soil samples on Megan's shoes didn't match the cabin woods. They matched a construction site 30 miles away, a place Daniel had never mentioned. Surveillance footage from a gas station near that construction site showed Megan's car passing through 4 nights after she was reported missing. The driver's face was unclear, but it wasn't Daniel's build. Detectives re-interviewed him. He didn't flinch. He repeated the confession word for word. Same pauses, same phrasing, as if memorized. When confronted with the timeline, he blinked slowly and said, "I must have gotten the days wrong." But the details stayed too perfect, almost scripted. Then they found something else. Megan had taken out a life insurance policy 6 months earlier, $2 million. The beneficiary wasn't Daniel, it was her younger sister Claire. Claire claimed she knew nothing about it. She cried on camera, said Megan had been distant lately. Private, but phone records told a different story. Dozens of late-night calls between Megan and Claire, and one more number that appeared repeatedly in the final week, a prepaid phone. Detectives traced the prepaid phone to a hardware store purchase. Security footage showed Claire buying it. When questioned, she said it was for online sales. Harmless, but cell tower data placed that same prepaid phone near the construction site the night Megan died. And Daniel, his phone had been powered off that entire evening. Unusual for a man who never let it drop below 50%. Still, Daniel kept confessing, insisting he acted alone, insisting no one else was involved. The break came from an overlooked detail. Megan's fingernails. Beneath them, skin cells, not Daniel's, female DNA. It matched Claire. When confronted, Claire's composure cracked. She admitted meeting Megan the night she died, said they argued about the insurance policy, said Megan planned to leave Daniel and start over, but Claire claimed it was self-defense, a shove, a fall, panic. The same story Daniel had told, but Daniel couldn't have known the construction site. He couldn't have known the argument between the sisters, unless someone told him. Interrogators laid out the evidence. The timeline, the DNA. The phone records. Daniel's shoulders sagged for the first time, not in guilt, in exhaustion. He whispered that Megan had called him that night, said she was meeting Claire, said she was scared. When Claire showed up at his door hours later, shaking, covered in dirt, she told him it was an accident. She said it would destroy their family, destroy her life. She begged him to protect her. Daniel had loved Megan, but he had always protected Claire. Since they were kids, he believed he was cleaning up a tragedy, burying it with himself. He thought confessing would end it clean. No trial for Claire, no scandal, just him, the villain. What he didn't expect was the science, the timestamps, the truth that refused to stay buried. Claire was charged with second-degree murder. Daniel was charged with obstruction and filing a false confession. In court, he never looked at her. Not once. The jury convicted her in less than 4 hours. Daniel took a plea deal, 3 years. When asked why he lied, he said, because someone had to. Megan's grave sits between them now. 2 lives destroyed. One ended, and the confession that was meant to protect a dark lie only exposed something deeper. Not just murder, but the quiet, terrifying power of loyalty.